Ever walked into a store, spotted two big 65-inch QLED TVs, and wondered, why is one $329 and the other a whopping $1,499? That's over $1,000 difference. So, what's actually behind that higher price tag? On one hand, you've got the Insignia QF series, super affordable, nice, and big. And those colors really pop. On the other, there's the Samsung QN90F, a Neo QLED loaded with the latest tech and some serious wow factor. Both promise an awesome viewing experience, but they go about it in totally different ways. So, what are you really paying for? We'll break down the tech, performance, design, and more, so you can figure out which one fits you best. Let's kick things off with the biggest difference, the display panel. So, both of these TVs are QLEDs, which means they use quantum dots to give you those super vibrant colors we all love. But here's the thing, the Insignia sticks with a pretty basic direct lit LED backlight. It gets the job done, but it doesn't have much control when it comes to those really dark scenes. That means blacks can look more like dark gray and the contrast is just okay. Now, Samsung's Neo QLED is a whole different story. It uses thousands of tiny mini LEDs that are way smaller and way more precise. With hundreds of local dimming zones, it can make the bright parts of the screen really pop, while keeping the dark areas truly black. The result? You get way better contrast, deeper blacks, and those eye-catching highlights that make HDR content look amazing. And honestly, that fancy mini LED tech is the main reason there's such a big price difference. Both TVs use quantum dots for color, but only Samsung's mini LED backlight gives you that really premium high-contrast look. So if you're after those deep cinematic blacks and HDR that really pops, this is where your extra money is going. And that right there is the biggest hardware difference between these two TVs. Alright, let's talk about what you actually get for just $320 with the Insignia. You're looking at a huge 65-inch 4K QLED screen. Seriously, it's the kind of thing that would have cost a fortune not too long ago. Back then, a TV this big and sharp would have set you back over £1,000, and you'd probably still have to make some trade-offs. Now for a fraction of that, you can bring home a screen that totally transforms your living room. The jump in size is honestly wild. Swapping out your old, smaller TV for this giant QLED makes movie nights, sports, and even just regular TV feel way more exciting. It's the kind of upgrade that gets everyone in the house to stop and stare when they walk by. Everyday stuff just looks great on this thing. The colors are bright and punchy, and the 4K resolution keeps everything looking crisp. Whether you're watching cartoons, nature shows, or your favorite series. Even regular HD shows look better and more immersive on a screen this big. And the smart features, super easy to use. The built-in Fire TV platform means you get all the big streaming apps, Netflix, Prime Video, Disney+, you name it, right out of the box. Plus, Alexa voice control is actually pretty handy. You can search for shows, tweak settings, or even control your smart home gadgets just by talking. Now let's be real, there are a few trade-offs at this price. The backlight isn't going to give you those super deep blacks you see on fancy OLEDs or high-end QLEDs, so dark scenes can look a bit washed out, especially if you're watching in a dark room. It does support HDR, but it's not as dramatic or punchy as pricier TVs. The 60Hz refresh rate is totally fine for most shows and movies, but if you're really into fast-paced sports or gaming, you might notice a bit of motion blur. For everyday use, it's great, but if you're a hardcore gamer or sports fanatic, you might want something a bit faster. Build-wise, it's pretty basic, plastic body, thicker bezels, and a simple stand. It doesn't have that super sleek premium look, but it's sturdy enough for everyday use and fits in just fine with most rooms. So while it might not be a showstopper in terms of design, it's a super practical pick, perfect for a family room, a den, or even as a big upgrade for a bedroom or playroom. It's all about getting that big screen experience without spending a ton. For the money, you're getting a big, colorful smart TV that covers all the basics and then some. It's a fantastic way to jump into streaming, movies, and everyday TV on a huge screen. Just keep your expectations in check. This isn't a top-tier home cinema or a pro gaming monitor, but for $320, it's tough to beat the size, smart features, and overall value the Insignia brings home. So, What do you actually get when you spend $1,500 on a TV like the Samsung QN90F? Let's break it down. Thanks to its mini LED backlight and tons of dimming zones, the picture is seriously impressive. Think deep blacks, super bright highlights, and HDR that really pops. The Neural Quantum Processor 4K is like a magic trick for your old shows and movies, making everything look crisp and clear. Love sports or gaming? The 120 Hz panel and smooth motion handling mean everything looks fast and fluid, no annoying blur. Gamers, you're covered too. There are 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 4K at 120 Hz, VRR, and a handy game bar to tweak your settings. Got a bright room? No worries, the anti-glare screen keeps reflections to a minimum even in sunlight. Plus, it just looks awesome, sleek, minimalist with a metal stand and those razor-thin bezels. The Tizen OS is quick and packed with features, and the solar cell remote, super eco-friendly and easy to use. From the moment you unbox it to everyday binge-watching, the QN90F just feels like a top-tier experience. Let's put these two TVs side by side and see what's really going on. Right away, the Samsung stands out. It's brighter, has better contrast, smoother motion, and some awesome gaming features. But here's the thing, the Insignia is super affordable. You could grab the TV, a soundbar, and even a console for less than just the Samsung. The Samsung is really for folks who want the absolute best and don't mind paying for it. Insignia, on the other hand, is all about giving you more size and value, even if it means skipping some fancy extras. Samsung packs in the latest tech and premium materials, which is why it costs more. So, it really comes down to what matters most to you, getting the best bang for your buck, or going all in for top-notch performance. Alright, let's chat about what the Insignia QF does well, and where it could use a little help. If you're thinking about picking one up for your living room, bedroom, or even a game room, knowing the ups and downs can really help you make the right call. Let's start with the good stuff. The Insignia QF is a total steal when it comes to price. You're getting a huge 4K QLED screen for way less than you'd expect. Seriously, it's one of the most budget-friendly big TVs out there. If you're watching your wallet, this one's definitely worth a look. The colors? Honestly, they're pretty impressive for the price. Plus, the built-in Fire TV system is super easy to use. You can jump into your favorite streaming apps right away. No fuss, no confusion. It's a great pick for everyday watching. Think catching up on shows, streaming movies, or just having something on in the background. If your room gets a lot of sunlight or you just want something simple for the family, it's a solid choice. Now for the not-so-great parts. The Insignia QF doesn't do so well with contrast and black levels. If you love watching movies in a dark room, you might notice that the dark scenes look a bit washed out, not super deep or dramatic. And when it comes to HDR, the brightness just isn't there. You won't get those super bright highlights or that wow factor you see on fancier TVs. It's fine, but it's not going to blow you away. Gamers, heads up. This TV has a basic 60 Hz panel and no HDMI 2.1, so it's not really built for next-gen consoles or super fast-paced games. If you're really into gaming, you might want to keep looking. The design is pretty simple too. It's all plastic, the bezels are a bit chunky, and the stand is basic. It's not going to turn heads, but it'll do the job for everyday use. So, who's this TV for? If you want a big screen without spending a fortune, the Insignia QF is a great pick. Just remember, you're trading off some picture quality and features compared to the fancy models. If you're after a large TV for everyday stuff, like watching the news, sports, or streaming your favorite shows, and you're not super picky about having the absolute best picture, this is a fantastic deal for the size and price. Just keep its limits in mind, especially if you're a movie lover who watches in the dark or a serious gamer. It's not perfect, but it's upfront about what it offers. Bottom line, the Insignia QF is all about getting the biggest screen for the least cash. If value is what matters most to you, it's tough to beat. Alright, let's break down the pros and cons of the Samsung QN90F together. First up, the good stuff. This TV's picture quality is seriously impressive. Thanks to the mini LED backlight, you get deep blacks and super vibrant colors. HDR content looks amazing, and if you've got a bright room, no worries. The high brightness and anti-glare tech have you covered. Gamers, you'll love this. 4K at 120 Hz, VRR, game bar, and 4 HDMI 2.1 ports make it a top pick for next-gen consoles. Plus, it just looks great. Ultra slim, a sleek metal stand, and those minimal bezels really make it pop in any room. Now, for the not-so-great stuff, the price. It's over 4 times what you'd pay for the Insignia. And while it's awesome, it's up against OLEDs, which are famous for those perfect black levels. You might also notice a bit of blooming in really high-contrast scenes. The Tizen OS can feel a little busy sometimes, with ads and lots of recommendations popping up. And heads up, there's no Dolby Vision support, which some streaming apps use for the best picture. So if you want the best of the best, this TV definitely delivers, but you'll need to be ready for that price tag. The big question is, do all these upgrades and features make it worth the extra cash for you? Picking out a new TV can feel like a big deal, right? There are so many choices, so many features. It's easy to get lost, but don't worry, I'm here to help you figure out which TV is the best fit for you. Let's make this simple. It really comes down to what you need, how you watch TV, and of course, how much you want to spend. You don't have to go for the fanciest or priciest option. Sometimes, the best TV is just the one that fits your life. If you're watching your budget, or just want a good, solid TV without spending a ton, the Insignia is a great choice. It's affordable, dependable, and you get a lot of screen for your money. It's awesome for big, casual viewing. Think family movie nights, binge-watching your favorite shows, or catching the game with friends. The Insignia also makes a perfect second TV, maybe for your bedroom, a guest room, or even a dorm. It's super easy to set up and use, so it's great for anyone who doesn't want to mess with complicated tech. Its bright screen works well in sunny rooms, and it's ideal for background TV, like in the kitchen, playroom, or anywhere you just want something on while you do other things. If you want a simple, budget-friendly smart TV that covers all the basics, Insignia is a winner. It's easy to use, has all the streaming apps you need, and just gets the job done. Now, if you're all about amazing picture quality, or you want a TV that really wows, the Samsung Neo QLED is the one to look at. The colors pop, the blacks are super deep, and 4K content looks incredible. It's also a dream for gamers. Fast refresh rates, super low input lag, and all the latest gaming features. You'll definitely notice the difference when you play. The Samsung is perfect if you want that home theater vibe, or if your living room gets a lot of sunlight and you don't want to sacrifice picture quality. Plus, it just looks gorgeous. Those slim bezels and the premium design really add style to your space. It's not just a TV, it's a statement piece. If you want top-notch performance, cool features like voice control, and a TV that's ready for the future, the Samsung Neo QLED is tough to beat. Sure, it costs more, but if you're ready to invest, the QN90F gives you a truly premium experience that'll last for years. So, here's the bottom line. Insignia is perfect for value seekers and everyday viewers, while Samsung is for those who want the absolute best. Before you decide, think about where you'll put your TV, how big your room is, how much light you get, and what you love to watch. When you match your TV to your needs and your space, the right choice will be obvious, and you'll be happy with your pick for a long time. Just remember, it's not all about the specs, it's about finding the TV that fits your life. Good luck, and happy TV shopping. Alright, let's talk about the big question. Does the price difference really make sense? The Samsung QN90F really steps things up. Think better contrast, brighter picture, awesome gaming features, and a sleek design. You can actually see the difference side by side. It's not just a small upgrade, it's a big one if you care about picture quality. But honestly, the Insignia QF is a great deal. You get a big, colorful 4K smart TV for way less money. Here's the thing, after a certain point, you start paying a lot more for those last bits of perfection. The Samsung gives you that extra wow factor, but it comes at a price. For most people, the Insignia's good enough is honestly more than enough for everyday watching. But if you're a big-time movie buff or gamer, the Samsung's premium experience might totally be worth it for you. There's really no wrong choice here, it just depends on what matters most to you. Are you after the best value, or do you want top-notch performance? Figure out what you care about, and you'll know which TV to pick. In the end, that's really what you're paying for.